Welcome back to the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show right here in your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS.
And remember, our goal is always to guide you to personal and financial wellness.
Well, it looks like hopefully you've lasted through 3 of the 4 segments of the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show with Don Gatling, Gino Fronti for 7 years, sharing what you need to know, want to know, and should know about real estate, finance, your community, and so much more. And we have one of our favorite guests on today with probably one of the most hot topics you can talk about, which is college planning. And we're here with Rob Schwartz with Premier College Guide, who's been our college guru for a long time. He's been on our show at least 2 dozen times. You can find out more by going to donandgino.com. Type in Rob Schwartz. Or go to YouTube channel. Type in Rob Schwartz. I guarantee there's probably 80 videos with Rob on it. Or, Rob, how can they get a hold of you just so they know right away who's this guy and how do I get a hold of him?
I invite you to come to our website, premiercollegeguide.com. There's all sorts of information about me there. But if you want to reach out, you want to have a conversation with me, you want to set up a consultation, which is completely free, please take an hour of my time. Email me, rob@premiercollegeguide.com, or call or text me, 818-359-3779.
All right, so if you want somebody that's going to enlighten you, we've been talking about you enlighten families, 2 other options, because it's a scary thing out there trying to figure out. We went over all these stats about the challenges getting into certain colleges, the cost of getting into some of these colleges, but also you enlighten that just 2 colleges here in California for one of our friends that you guided that was $28,000 a year versus $5,500 student loan to go through the school. $5,500 a year student loan versus $28,000 out of pocket for the family. That's a life changer, and they are basically the same school. I mean, they're very similar schools. So you enlighten that. It's out-of-state options you've enlightened to, because I know of one of my other friends was going to have to pay, again, a private school. It was like $55,000 a year, and we got a complete free ride to Iowa for a penny a year. And she loved it.
It's a great school.
And she's now going straight from there to a great school in North Carolina for her master's. I mean,
so I know
a penny.
This is a hair off topic. But how do parents deal with the emotional side of letting go of their kids to leave the state? Because that's, I think, the hard part, right? That's why it's so, California parents want to keep their kids in California so they could see them once in a while.
It's a great question, and especially here in Santa Clarita. There's a reason why 2 out of every 3 students in the Heart District graduate and go to COC. It's not necessarily that the kids aren't ready, the parents aren't ready. I think a lot of it has to do with building trust. I think a lot of it has to do with understanding that as long as you've picked a place that isn't in the middle of nowhere, airplanes work pretty well at this day and age, that you can fly pretty much anywhere you want to anywhere you want. Maybe you have to stop once, but you can be home in 3, 4, 5 hours.
Same as driving to any of these places you're thinking of in California, especially going up north.
Right. So, Lauren, if she wants to come home, Southwest, if she plans it a few weeks in advance, $49, $59, $69 at the most.
Right.
She's landed in Burbank faster than I could drive back from West LA.
And safer.
And probably safer.
Much safer.
So what you have to understand, and you said something really interesting, coming back to something Don said, this is stressful.
Oh my gosh.
Why? Ask yourself that question. Why is this stressful?
Fear is false evidence appearing real, and ultimately it's because you don't know enough.
That's right. That's exactly right. Is you come, and I'm speaking to you out there, whether you're listening in your car or you're watching this broadcast, I'm speaking to you. You have come to incomplete conclusions with what you believe is concrete information, and I can assure you, nothing there is actually true. What you've been told is probably false, that you have to go to one of 20 or 30 schools in this country, or else you're going to be homeless. You're going to live in you're going to live in Union Station if you don't go to one of these 30 schools. The stress and pressure that we put on our kids is unhealthy. The stress and pressure that we put on ourselves as parents is unhealthy. And when you take the time to understand just how amazing and just how plentiful the options really are, if you know what you're looking for, you'll find this process is actually quite easy.
And especially having you to guide them through that process, because even if they did their own research, they still don't know where to look. You do. And you can enlighten them. You can ask the right questions. You can then enlighten them on what their options are, because this is what you do for a living. Just like when we do loans, you can go on to some .com and not get any advice at all. You just get an interest rate. That is not always the best option for our clients.
Yeah, and just like in our business, you can go on the internet and get a plethora of information that may or may not be true.
Yep.
By a seasoned or unseasoned professional. But if you want really great information and you like what you've heard so far, I know you guys are putting together an event. So tell me about when and where. So where can I be to relieve some of this anxiety?
So we are going to have an event here in Santa Clarita. It's the first time I've hosted a specific event in the summer here in Santa Clarita. It's going to be in downtown Newhall at the Main. It's a really quaint theater, holds about 80 people. So you're going to need RSVP. We're still working on all those details. We're looking at either July 10 or July 11 at this time. We'll have that figured out in the next week. And I know you guys will put the word out. It will go out to my list of folks. I would encourage you, if you're listening, to check back in the next week at donandgino.com to look at all the information that's provided. This will be a free event. No strings attached, no questions asked. We want you to become informed consumers.
Yeah, hit on the 4 or 5 topics that will be covered, because I guarantee all of you out there will go, at least 3 of these are going to be imperative to you when it comes to college planning.
The big ones that we're going to try to hit, and it's not just me speaking.
Nope.
Don's going to be there. Gino might be there. We'll see. My partner Trevor may be there.
I have a financial planner
Chris
that we work
Ingram
with, Chris Ingram, that's been on our show a couple dozen times as well.
So we're going to have a pretty much an all-star cast of people there to answer your questions. But we're going to cover, look, how does the admission system actually work? What are some of the myths you've heard about that just aren't true? How do we leverage your financial position, whether you're wealthy or you're poor? There's opportunities for you to get more than you think you are qualified to get. How do you leverage the values in your home? And this is where you guys come in. To get the most value for your family. Sometimes there are some incredible options. Gino, I know you've pointed some out where you can unlock value that would cost you a lot more going through a traditional loan.
You know, that's one of the things we talk about all the time. People forget that equity in your home is your money. It is your money. It belongs to you. You invested at the right time. Property values have gone up. It's your money. The only problem is it's not very liquid. So we'll help you with ways to get at that money at the right time before interest rates go up.
Now, there's one other thing I do want to come back to, which is I mentioned at the very beginning there's this article that I want you to have. And again, it's called College Knowledge Quarterly. Take full advantage of it. Reach out, call me, text me, email me. I'll send it to you. It's free. This article is much like before. I'm going to tap in to the crystal ball. And I'm going to look into the future of the University of California admissions, not just in terms of freshmen, but in terms of transfer students. There is a shift coming in how the allocation is working, how many students are supposed to be freshmen, how many students are supposed to be transfers. And based on what the University of California is planning, how is that going to change what this process looks and feel like? I'm going to tell you.
Oh, wow. Okay. So how do they get that? Where they go to get your article?
So email me. It's the easiest way. It's rob@premiercollegeguide.com. Just say, I want the College Knowledge Quarterly. You don't have to say anything else. I want the CKQ.
Yeah, I was going to say the
done.
College Knowledge Quarterly. Do you really have to remember that, or can you just say, I just want the article you were talking about?
You can say that too. I'm going to know.
How do they RSVP for the event? Do you want them to go through
Same thing, same email?
For right now, that is the easiest thing. If you send an email to rob@premiercollegeguide.com, I will make sure your RSVP is confirmed. We will reserve your seats. We're not going to overbook the event. We want to make sure you're comfortable. We want to make sure you can ask and get your questions answered.
I mean, this is July 10th or 11th. It'll be in the evening.
It'll be probably a 6 p.m. to an 8 p.m.
Right.
Again, we're going to have 3 or 4 different presenters. We're going to cover a myriad of topics. If you're concerned about finding the right college, if you're concerned about financing college, show up. Please.
And what's nice is nobody's selling anything. You're not being handed a bunch of information. It's not an infomercial. It's just 4 or 5 good professionals giving up their time to educate you on what your options are for your children. One of the most stressful and challenging things you can go through right now is how to put your kids into, hopefully, the college of their dreams.
You know, we talk about over the last 7 years how we built this real estate and finance show, and it's unbelievable how much time we spend talking about not real estate. Because the reality is finance is so much more than just real estate. Real estate can be one item in your portfolio, but I can't think of anything other than maybe a health problem that affects your finances more than college. I mean, I've got 3 kids. I've got to think about it. I've got to figure it out.
All right. One more time, how do they get a hold of you? Mr. Rob Schwartz of Premier College Guide?
818-359-3779 or rob at premiercollegeguide.com.
All right, and we love you to check in more about the Don and Gino Real Estate Finance Show. Really easy, donandgino.com, DONANDGINO.com. We far surpass all the pizza places now. And then if you're looking for a great advice regarding your home financing, reach out to us at SantaClaritaHomeLoan.com, SantaClaritaHomeLoan.com. Other than that, have a wonderful Saturday. We love you guys, and thank you for being part of our show.